Hey gang, hope you're doing well. So I'll be going live again next week. I'm studying for a pretty comprehensive exam on Tuesday, so I won't be doing any live streams this week. I need to be locked in and focus on my studies. But I just want to give you the heads up. But I'm gonna recap this game. 12-0. The Yankees beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. For those of you who haven't heard, Anthony Volpe went deep. Anthony Rizzo went deep. Giancarlo Stanton went deep 3 times. Stanton, 3 bombs, 8 RBIs. 12-0 win. This is the type of game that we were hoping from the Yankees. We needed to see some of these other guys find their momentum, find their groove. Like we're late into the spring now, and we needed to see a little bit more from Stanton. We saw that tonight. We looked locked in. Rizzo looked good. Volpe looked good. Okay, a lot of these guys look pretty solid. Judge was back in there. He had a double too. His first came back as well. So, and in terms of the pitching side, I'll keep it short and sweet. Luke Weaver started 3 and a third, 2 hits, scoreless, 2 strikeouts. Then Victor Gonzalez, he had Holmes in there, Hamilton, Nick Birdie threw an inning, Ferguson threw an inning, Clayton Andrews threw an inning, all through zeros. Everybody across the board. So this is fantastic. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Yankees pounded the Pirates. We're pretty much a little over a week away from opening day. This is the type of game we needed to see. So, and it happened at George Steinbrenner Field. And but there's some other stuff. Okay. Number one, according to John Heyman, the Yankees have re-engaged with Jordan Montgomery. Okay. Now I take it with a grain of salt because it's John Heyman. So, we'll see with that. But apparently, Scott Boras is using the Aaron Nola contract, which is 7 years, $172 million, as the comparison point. Okay. I think everybody knows he's not going to get that. But this is Scott Boras. So 4 years 80, 4 years 84 might do the trick. Something like that. But again, like I said earlier, forget the opt-outs. You're not getting a spring, so you can forget the opt-outs. Okay? So, but apparently, according to John Heyman, I would wait and see whoever else corroborates it. But according to John Heyman, the Yankees are back in on Montgomery. I'm not surprised if it's true. Because like I had said this too, that he's the only guy at this point that would represent an upgrade value in the rotation. But, not having a spring, is Gerrit Cole going to come back before Jordan Montgomery comes here? Like, if he signed here? Like, that's another thing to think about, too. And if that's the case, I'm taking Gerrit Cole over Montgomery. So, there's a lot of different ways to think about this. And I'm going to wait until some more people corroborate it to give it a little bit more teeth, which will give it a little bit more credibility. Because, again, anytime we hear from John Heyman, it gets, countered by other beat writers. So again, take it with 2 grains of salt, not 1, 2. So, and make sure that you're sub to the channel. That way you don't miss any other news that comes out regarding, this type of stuff. Scott Boras clients, especially Jordan Montgomery, because there is, an appetite to bring him back to the Yankees if that's a possibility. An appetite by some, not by all, but by some. The question remains, does he have the appetite to come back here? We don't know. Okay, he said that he didn't have any hard feelings and he wouldn't have any problem coming back, but that could have just been lip service for all we know. We got to wait and see what he does. Is Texas just sitting there waiting for him to come back? And it doesn't matter. No matter where he goes, no team that signed him is going to get a spring out of him. So he's going to be at least a month behind everybody else. And that's something that teams need to consider. So I need to consider that when they're negotiating with the contract. The first year's got to be prorated. Right? So that's one piece of news. The second piece of news is even bigger. Okay, and I'm waiting for more information to come out, but there's a potential major scandal brewing in Los Angeles, and it all revolves around Shohei Ohtani. So, and his translator. Apparently, they accuse his lawyers accused his translator of stealing money, Ohtani, and using it for gambling and blah, blah, blah. They linked to some other person. The FBI raided this person's house, his office or whatever. But now some other people are saying that maybe he was placing bets for Ohtani. And if that's the case, professional baseball player, man, what happened to Pete Rose? So, like I said, I'm going to wait for more information to come out before I put a video on. I want to have a thorough an understanding. I'm not just going to give you this, the gravy. I want to give you the meat and potatoes with the gravy. So it might take a day or two. We'll see what else comes out. But I want to have a more thorough understanding of the story. That way you have a more thorough understanding of the story. Again, just make sure that you're subbed before you leave if you haven't done that yet. Okay, and I thank you for it. So, but that's what I got for you right now. Yankees pound the Pirates. Fantastic. The rumor is they're back in on Montgomery. And there's a potential major scandal brewing revolving around Shohei Ohtani. So stay tuned, gang. More stuff's coming out, and I'll get it to you when it does. Peace.